So a dog really builds a big spot in your heart. I mean, there's this unconditional love, unconditional attention. They just welcome you into their lives in a way that is like nothing else. Visiting with Lucy has allowed me to do things I'm not sure I would have done on my own. So I'm Allan Gates. I'm a volunteer with Arkansas Hospice, and this is Lucy. She's a 6-year-old standard poodle, and she's also a hospice volunteer. That was an interesting story. Lucy was born blind, and the breeder that had the litter of puppies used the same veterinarian we do, and our vet called us one day and said, I have a breeder who has a healthy but blind standard poodle puppy. He knew we had standard poodles, and he said, would you be interested in adopting this dog? The breeder doesn't want the dog. And we said, sure. We took Lucy in. Once she got to be full size, her head had fully developed, she was a good candidate for surgery. She had cataract surgery, and just after her first birthday, she had cataract surgery and now can see very close to normally. I had started doing therapy work with Lucy, and it was interesting. Although she's a very frisky, rowdy dog when she's playing, when she goes to work as a therapy dog, she's very quiet. One of the volunteers that was already visiting, doing therapy dog work, Mary Krasuski, offered to let me shadow her, just follow her along on a visit. And we went to the Oppenheimer Center, and there was a very young patient that had not been responsive for some time. I'm not sure what the condition was, but her mother was there, had been there for days, 24 hours a day. And Mary put her dog's paws up on the bed, and the mother put her child's hand on the dog's paw and was moving her child's hand back and forth over the paw. And then the child started petting the dog and opened her eyes and smiled. And at that point, of course, everybody was in tears and happy tears. And that was, the mother just said, that's the first time my daughter's reacted to anything, much less smiled, in days. And I knew that was something I wanted to see if Lucy could contribute to as well. The patient's reaction to Lucy is pretty much always positive. For the most part, they see Lucy and she looks, just because of her color and shape, a little bit like a stuffed animal. So even if people would see a friendly dog, they see a friendly dog that looks like an ooh, cuddly stuffed animal. And the minute they touch her, her fur is so soft that it's just a very positive experience. Frankly, also, the nurse's station is an important stop. When we walk down the hall in the unit, before we ever make it to the nurse's station, I usually hear somebody, oh, Lucy's here. And she makes the rounds with the nurses and the nurses' assistants. And I think with that interaction, that's one of those things that they really look for and helps them with their day, brightens it up a little bit. Well, the first would be just basic obedience. The certification test involves a lot of the same things that are standard obedience. A good solid sit, a stay, a come. Dog will leave something if you tell them to. So just starter obedience would be the first part. And if the dog is really good with strangers, really socialized well, Pet Partners has in all of its local chapters training for the handler, and then a training practice for the dogs, and then a certification. Well, thank you. I feel like I need to be the one thanking Lucy, thankful that I've got a dog like this, but thanking Arkansas Hospice for the opportunity that's so welcoming, so accommodating, and it gives somebody an opportunity to do things that just mean so much when you're through.